It spins tires. Look at that. Even popping into second gear, second to third, it spun tires with traction control on. So if you're worried that the Corolla is going to be boring or not have enough power for you, I'm happy to tell you that you'll be pleasantly surprised. It is a very good city car, and if you want to have a little bit of fun with it, you can, which I was surprised by. Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Ben from ShouldIGetIt.com. This is the 2021 Toyota Corolla XSE hatchback, and surprise, surprise, this one actually has 3 pedals and a 6-speed manual. So we will talk about the sportiness, which I was kind of surprised by, of this hatch in a minute. But I want to start with the looks, and then we'll get to driving it, and I'll talk about the daily practicality and all that. I think it actually looks really good. This is the XSE, as I mentioned, so it's the top of the line Corolla hatch. Has the 18-inch rims on it, which I think look pretty good. Has the low-profile Yokohama tires. And then on the inside, you can see that it has these 2-tone seats. So they have leather trim on the edges, and then they have this cloth insert. So it is 2-tone on the front seats and also the rear. And so if we take a look into the rear, we can actually step into here and see that there is not a ton of space, as you would expect out of a Corolla, but I do have a little bit of knee room here. I'm 5'8", so I have my seat adjusted for that. And then back here, we have just a little cup holder and armrest. And of course, these seats do fold down, so if you wanted to get a big trunk, we could get that. Let's hop into the trunk for a second. And real quick, cup holders and a little pocket in the door on both sides. So when we get to the trunk, you would think that the trunk opening would be right here under the Toyota logo. Like if you've ever worked with or dealt with a VW Golf, you know that the switch is usually the logo. The button is actually down here on the bottom of the trunk, and then the trunk is not automatic, so it is very springy. You can see that if I tried to close it, it would reopen by itself. So even if I do it hard with 2 hands, it tries to reopen. But if I just popped it open on the bottom, if I just hit the button, it's not going to open on its own. So it's a little bit wonky. It actually takes a lot of strength to get that trunk down. These struts are very strong. But as you can see in the trunk space, we have a decent amount of room. So this is a carry-on sized backpack. Could fit probably 3 or 4 of those if I stood them up vertically like this, even more. And then of course you can drop the seats by just hitting that button right there. And then the seats would fold. If you move the front seat down, it folds all the way. So that is how the trunk and seats operate. I think it's a very good looking car. It's got some nice shapes. You guys, if you follow my channel, know that I love hatchbacks. So now let's get into driving the XSE. Honestly, I thought the Corolla would be a pretty boring car, but a good city car. And you can see as we drop it into second gear, it actually has some get up and go to it, and it spun tire there between second and third gear. So I was pretty impressed with that. And having the 6-speed manual is actually pretty fun. I think the automatic would be just as fun actually in the sport mode because it clearly has the torque and the power down low. And with the automatic, I'd actually prefer that in the city because I don't love this shifter. It's kind of doing this claw hand thing here. And also with the cup holders being in front, I have a tall water bottle and I feel it in the way when I'm here. You can see when I shift, it's kind of shifting like that. So instead of grabbing the shifter from the bottom, you're grabbing it from the top. It's a very strange sensation, but as you can see right there, it has the IMT button, which is intelligent manual transmission, and that turns on auto rev matching. So if I want to downshift and rev match, you can see that it rev matched automatically for me. It did a great job, and we'll see how it handles the corners right here. So you can see that it's handling pretty well. It's holding on nicely. And the steering is not too light and not too heavy. So it's actually a pretty well-weighted steering system for a daily driver that you could be a little bit sporty with. And it's pretty fun. The beeping that you heard is the lane departure assist. So if I get close to the lane edge, it's going to beep at me and tell me, hey, get back in the lane. Now, another feature I want to show you is the cruise control. So when I turn on cruise control with this button here and I hit set, we have the option for radar cruise. So I can control the distance from the car in front of me. So it'll automatically slow down and speed up the car, even though it has a manual transmission, as long as you can slow down that much in the gear. Otherwise, it'll tell you to shift. But you can see we have radar cruise, so we can hold 3 car lengths, 2 car lengths, or 1 car length from the car ahead of us, if there were one. And it also has lane keeping assist, and so I can turn that on here. So this is lane detection, steering assist turned on. So you'll see it won't steer for me. So in these curves, it's not gonna steer to the right. It is a reactive system, it is not proactive. So keep that in mind. If you watch my Lexus IS 350 review video, you'll know that in that car, it does the steering for you and it will actually handle curves and keep you in the lane very well. This is more like if you're about to approach the edge of a lane, it will steer back a little bit for you. So keep that in mind. Now we can talk very briefly about the touchscreen here. I don't love the look of it, but it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is great. You have to use this hidden USB port there. The car also has brake hold as standard, so you can see my feet are off the brake and I'm in neutral right now. And then once I get going again, it will release the brake for me. So it basically has hill start assist in the IMT mode, and also the shift can be very smooth. I'm gonna put my foot down. It takes a little while to rev up, but there's a lot of intake noise, not much exhaust noise. I'm very impressed with this car. I think it looks really good. It has the two-tone going on everywhere, so we have matching stitching to the two-tone seats. We have Apple CarPlay right here. Of course, we could change the wallpaper. We can hit the Toyota button, and so we have our metrics and our various modes here. Of course, you could just do Bluetooth audio from your phone, but you can see that I'm getting 33.7 miles to the gallon, and I have driven this car for, I think, 350 or so miles now. And I'm very impressed with it. So overall, the 2021 Corolla XSE hatchback, what do I like about it? It's got a lot of trunk space. It gets very good gas mileage. It actually has more power than I expected. And it also has some features like blind spot monitoring, radar cruise control, etc. that I really like. What would I do differently if I got one for myself? I actually would not go for the 6-speed manual. I would go for the automatic transmission because I drive a lot in the city, I commute there, and with the radar cruise control being as good as it is, I would actually like the car to be able to do all of the traffic driving for me on the freeway without me having to shift gears at all. Even though I drove from San Diego back to Los Angeles last night and was just in 6th gear the entire time thanks to there not being any traffic and the car slowing down and speeding up for me. Anyways, that is my quick review of the 2021 Corolla XSE hatch. If you have any questions or any car requests that you'd like me to review, leave them down in the comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.